Um, I came here about 10 years ago when I was a student at the One Institute to give a Dharma talk. I wonder whether you were here at that time or not, but I'm very glad and honored to be invited to give a talk today and share my Dharma practice with you. Today I'd like to talk about awareness. But it also related with the question of self and no self. These days, once in a while, I'm reflecting upon myself, how I become one Buddhist minister. And I come up with no other explanation than the Dharma affinity with my teachers. And when I was a college student, I had a chance to practice meditation at the Seoul One Buddhist Meditation Center. And at that time, I expressed my concern. The concern was about my anxiety. I have a kind of a social anxiety, especially when I meet with new people. I did not know what to say. And when there is silence, I feel very awkward. And what am I going to say? How did the other person think about me? And those worries are racing. So it made me have more difficulty to say something. So I asked a question, what should I do? And there are some comments about this situation, and the Dharma teacher comment was this: it's okay to feel awkward. It's okay to have a silence. Your this judgmental idea to push away the silence and feeling awkward make you feel more difficult. So at the time, it was somehow refreshing and eye-opening. And it's quite natural when I think about his talk for now, but at the time, that was my shifting point of meditation and mindfulness practice. Recently, I finished my dissertation study, and the topic was effect of meditation on anxiety. Anxiety is often contrasted with fear. While fear has some object to be afraid of, but anxiety is some kind of uneasiness without being specifying the object to be afraid of. But when we look into the fear and anxiety, every fear is also groundless, actually. So in Heart Sutra, it is said, therefore there is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fear exists, because Bodhisattva is free from delusion and dwells in nirvana. So when you have this delusive idea and worrying about the future, which is not actually happen, and with these distorted ideas, we have many anxiety and fears. As for anxiety, there is a Zen story. The disciple, this is a story between the Bodhidharma, the Buddhist patriarch who came from India to China to transmit the Buddha Dharma. And the Hega was his first disciple. And Hega came to Bodhisattva and asked, please help me to quiet my anxious mind. Bodhidharma responded by saying, Bring me your mind so that I can quiet it. After a long moment of silence, Haega said, but I cannot find my mind. There. Bodhidharma replied with a smile, I have now quieted your mind. Like Hegel, when you look within, there is no entity, no mind substance, no self, nothing you can identify. But there is an awareness, open awareness. It's also called empty awareness. Someone may consider this no identity, nothing to identify, may something afraid of. But it's when we shift our perspective, it's a liberating perspective. I'd like to do some meditation practice about this awareness. Okay. You may close your eyes and let's take a deep breath with your chest. And breathe out and relax your shoulder, spine, and belly. And you may do so one more time. Breathe in deeply. And breathe out and relax. And let's just pay attention to our breath. The in-breath and out-breath. And let just our awareness follow the natural rhythm of our breath. Some thought, wandering thought may arise. Then simply identify. There is a thought. And try asking yourself, who is thinking? Who is thinking? You may have some feeling and emotion, which may be strong, or anxiety or anger. Then you may say compassionately, it's okay. It's okay. And you may ask yourself again, who is feeling? Who is having these emotions? And also, who is compassionate about this all disturbed mind? The natural arising of emotion is also a profound opportunity to experience how the natural expression of awareness is accepting as we are. Okay, you may open your eyes. When we have a strong emotion, it's hard to quiet our mind. So we usually use our breath to calming down. When we concentrate on one object, we can quiet down other thoughts. And this is the beginning step of meditation. And also one step further, our meditation can be awareness, not just awareness of our arising mind, but also our awareness itself. Who is being aware of this arisen mind? Who is being aware of this thought? As for me, who is asking this question of who is asking? As for you, who is listening to this question of who is listening? This kind of meditation is called by Zen Buddhist monk as tracing back to radiance. So there is a watcher and watched. When you have wandering thought and emotion, what we are doing is noticing. There is an emotion, feeling, and thought, and all sense organs, sensations. But after that, you trace back the watching. Who is watching? Who is watching? This is related with the koan practice. And the fundamental koan practice is about who am I? This meditation, the koan practice, is not intellectualizing. It's not figuring out. There is some abstruse questions by many Zen Buddhist monks, but it's not intended to make you think and figure out. The question is simply quiet down our wandering thoughts and discrimination and intellectualization. So when we are questioning who am I, or who is thinking, who is having the emotion, the one answer can be, I don't know. I don't know. So when you don't know, we become humble and we become more attentive and listening and what's going on, rather than putting on our assumption and presupposition. We listen and explore what is happening in our mind and in the situation. This is one important way of meditation practice. And also, when we aware of our feeling and strong emotion, there's something going on. In our essential dharmas of daily practice, the first item is lack of disturbance, second, lack of delusion, third is lack of wrongdoings. When you have this disturbance, emotional disturbance especially, it is not just by the sensory condition outside the environment. Because if the outside the environment, the sense object is the cause of this all disturbance, then every people should respond in the same way. But because we have different karmic seeds, depending on what's going on in our mind, in a different situation, maybe responding in a different way. So when you have this wandering thought and emotion and feeling, this is a great opportunity, what's going on in our mind. This is a signal to figure out this karmic seeds. And the karmic seed is the delusion. And I'd like to introduce my own delusion. One day I was driving, and it was in the morning. There's a huge dump truck or waste to clean the waste. But because the workers are dumping the trash, it took very long time. So I was stuck, and I could not proceed. In the beginning, it's okay, I said. But after about 5 minutes, I start to have complaint. Why is this truck is blocking my way? Why this time? Anyway, later on I could have found out the way. But interesting finding happened several days later. It was also in the morning, and I also the similar situation, but it was not about me, but there's other driver, and the driver was blocked by this dump truck. At the time, what I thought was, to make the town clean, drivers need to be patient. And after several seconds, I realized, several days ago, my response was quite different. I was complained and upset, but now I'm pretending to be a very public-spirited person. So I found my self-contradiction, and then I could smile. But I was delusive. But my experience of noting my delusion was very much liberating. I have that kind of ego framework at that time. So for this reason, a meditation teacher, the Eckhart Tolle, said like this: more important is how often we are out of conceptual thinking, rather than how long you remain without thinking. So whenever I have this delusive thought and ego framework, which karmic seeds make us disturbed and be stressed, it's a time to get out of it and to be awakened from that delusion. When we have this awareness moment, the karmic seeds can dissolve. So what I'd like to suggest from today's talk is two kinds. Let's ponder upon about this awareness. And I think this awareness is not different from our Buddhahood, Buddha nature. So, 일원상 vow, we say, by modeling ourselves, 일원상 Dharmakaya Buddha. This awareness, our original mind, is not different from Dharmakaya Buddha, 일원상. And when you have this strong sense of the empty awareness, we can model ourselves for our practice. And also, in our daily life, stressful situation or challenging, trying situation, we may aware of those situations and awakened from our delusions. Okay, thank you.